Hey everybody, Greg Poole here at Bow Junkie Media, bowjunkiemedia.com. We're at the 2020 OPA here at the Bow Fest on Mont du Lac. This weekend's coverage is brought to you by Gas Bowstrings. We're here with Hammer Time himself. It's Tim Gillingham. You said you was going to do it. You came and did it. You find yourself in the lead. I'm sure you're not tickled pink with, obviously being in first is cool, but talk to us about the points that I'm sure you feel you left out there.
I thought I executed quite well, other than just the ones I missed, right? I was just, I was actually playing quite conservative, and I just, I could think of 3 shots that put me 20 up. 2 of them were long shots that the guys in the group had blown out to the right, and I said, I'm not going to do that. I'll just play conservative to go center 10, and I aim outside the 10 ring, and what do you think happened?
Hit right behind the pin.
Hit right behind the pin. So, and then one of them, I guess, bumped the trigger. We talked about the new eye surgery I got. I had my pin a little bit bright, and it had a big halo around it, and so it broke my concentration. And it's the shortest target on the course, the easiest shot on the course, and I just overthought it and was going to let down and bump my trigger. And it was
but you hit foam, right?
I missed the 14 by less than a millimeter.
Oh, okay. Well,
it was right. I was aiming on it pretty good. It's just that I was coming back out of the shot, and it was
okay.
You know what happens when you get distracted. And
well, at the you won the OPA, was it last year or the year before, with a full send out into the abyss? So
I know it's irritating though. I just you always want to shoot to what you feel like your potential is.
Sure, absolutely.
And when you don't, it's like, man, I left a lot on the table. But right. Everybody's like that.
No question.
Everybody's got, man, I left a lot on the table. But I executed well. I went for 6 14s counting that turkey, and I hit every one of them.
Nice.
And really, most of them are inside out. So it was. I was really happy with that. I struggle in a little bit with the uphill shots. Normally, I'll dip out the bottom on upper. A lot of people do, but for some reason, I've been going out the top on them.
Really?
We get these steep ones, so.
Do you think that's a draw length thing? What do you think that is? I
don't know. It's just one of the big issues is just new bow year, right? It's a brand new bow. It takes a while for a shooter to really, sometimes really nail that bow for their own particular setup, and,
right.
And people don't understand sometimes just very, very small, subtle things. I was talking to Ron Bart today. He's running the same bow I am, and he was telling me he advances one cam slightly over the other, and he said that just took away his highs and lows. I don't know why that would be, but something to try maybe, because
sure.
I'm kind of experiencing the same thing, maybe, and part of you wants to, you don't know what to blame when you get my age, you think
our age,
you don't aim as good as you used to, but you really think you should.
Amen.
And you don't know whether to blame the bow or the body, is it the bow setup, the stabilizer? What is it? Or is it just the damn body going south?
Right. I definitely resemble that remark. So talk to us a little bit about the change in mentality, because, as I referenced, obviously we're joking, folks. It's all in good fun. You won this event with a 0 when you yeeted it over the top there. But talk to us about the change in kind of how you're going to enter the shoot-off, knowing that the scores go back to 0.
Well, that's really twofold there. It takes a little pressure off during the shoot, I think, if you feel like, man, I can make the top 5 screwing off,
Right.
Or maybe I can go for a 14 here and really extend my lead. If I don't get it, then I'm still okay.
Right.
Whereas if you were going for overall score, you might not do that, you
right.
know. You might just try to gradually eke away.
Absolutely.
Shoot off, man, I honestly think the only advantage a person can get in the shoot off is position, and that's going to be the number 1 seed. So
right.
you put yourself in the number 1 seed, then you have the position advantage, so you can set yourself up for your last 1 or 2 shots, hopefully are a 14able shot.
Right.
So if you need it, you can go for it. If you don't have to, say center 10's your friend,
Right, absolutely. Well, and that's a good point, is a lot of people say, well, the first seed's going to get to choose where they start. It's not so much about choosing where you start, it's about choosing where you're going to end.
Dang right. Yeah. I know so many ASA shoot-offs, that target position, man, it dictates everything.
Right.
You're planning your strategy based on, what you think the other guys are going to do, and you want to end up on that one where you can,
right,
throw down on.
Now, we're supposed to get a little bit of weather tomorrow. Are you hoping we get some wind and rain? Are you?
Yeah, I mean, I used to pray for wind, but I'd just soon be comfortable anymore.
He's like, I'm turning into a fair weather archer now.
Nah, not really. It's just I don't mind wind. I just don't like rain.
Right. Especially if it's going to be, and it's not going to be cold, so that'll be helpful.
Yeah, rain just makes everything miserable.
Right. Yeah.
So
absolutely. All right, buddy. Well, I appreciate you stopping by. You going to go see you got your rig there? You going to go shoot some more arrows?
Yeah, we're going out with some of the guys, and I don't know.
20 just wasn't enough, was it?
I'm exhausted. I mean, I got 4 hours of sleep last night. It took me 2 hours to figure cuts on 20 targets. So, but it's important to make sure you check, double check, recheck, and I like the way we can go out and look at the course, speed stuff up dramatically.
Right. Well, and let's be honest here, folks. This is a marked yardage tournament. Nobody cares if people go look at the course. It's marked yardage. Yeah. This is not unmarked, so don't even.
Yeah, I mean it's marked distance. I mean they got, I call them dumb rules, like speed limit. Why do you need a speed limit in a known shoot? It makes no sense. I could shoot 320. I never would.
I was going to say, you could shoot 350, but you wouldn't.
There's no advantage to it at all.
Correct.
So if you want to, knock yourself out. It's freestyle.
There you go.
So, but, to me, the cuts are the most important thing, and that's the thing that I think I understand better than anybody, but I understand also the fragility of that knowledge and how I know a lot, but I don't know enough.
Right. Well,
and I'm not sure anybody's
changing.
Really mastered that. The guys that are building the software and stuff, they haven't mastered it.
Right.
Okay. They haven't got the formulas yet to get that perfect in order to shoot a 1-inch bullseye at 55 yards.
Right. At 40 degrees.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, I spent a lot of time shooting in hills, walking, getting data, and then you try to use that data to figure the cut
right.
for the individual slopes.
Well, and I think part of the problem with that is, unlike rifles or guns, I should say, we don't have the ballistic data across the spectrum because the arrows are all different.
I was reading a high-power rifle book. I think it was Brian Haidt or one of the top guys. I can't remember his last name, but these guys are literally going out and doing the same thing. They're shooting in the ballistic coefficients because the mathematical ballistic coefficient isn't necessarily right either.
Right.
So they're shooting in the ballistic coefficients. Well, it's the same thing on these slopes.
Yep.
I mean, biggest mule deer I ever shot in my life, I shot him through the top of the back because I trusted a rangefinder. And I knew better. And, the products are getting better, and the products get better when the manufacturers are held accountable. The manufacturers are, but enough people want that product. And the whole industry's kind of dumbed down to the 30-yard bow hunter, and, there's a lot of innovation. There's just more people shooting rifles, so there's more, demand for that.
Well, plus
precision.
It's more of a controlled environment. They have a bullet, a twist rate, a number of powder, and there's no draw lengths. There's no varying. I mean, it's
I ain't figured it out. I'm shooting the same exact speed as last year, and my cuts are different. I don't know why.
Right.
I don't. I have some ideas.
Right.
God, to test that out is just a colossal task.
It is. Well, all right, buddy. I appreciate your time. I know you're going to go up there and shoot some more. That's Tim Gillingham, everybody. He is your senior expert leader at this point, and we definitely look forward to following him tomorrow and see how many 14s he goes for there, because he doesn't go for 14s because he has to. He goes for 14s because he wants to.
Damn right.
That's how Hammer gets down. All right, everybody. Stay tuned to Bow Junkie Media for more ongoing coverage from the 2020 OPA here at Mont Delac. Hey everybody, Greg Poole here with Bow Junkie Media. We are on Mont Delac for the 2020 Bowfest OPA Day 2. Senior expert Tim Gillingham has absolutely destroyed this course today. This is one of the targets here. The rest are behind me. But Tim Gillingham is absolutely on fire today, folks. He will be running away with today's score. It wouldn't surprise me if Tim's score is the top score from the entire course today. We're going to show you a scorecard right now. Stay tuned to Bow Junkie Media for more ongoing live coverage via Bow Junkie Media ScoreCast. All right, everybody, Greg Poole here with Bow Junkie Media. This is a Bow Junkie Media ScoreCast exclusive here with Day 1 leader Tim Gillingham. You just shot the first 5 targets here on Day 2 of the OPA. Looks like you got a couple 12s down there and some solid 10s. That's probably how you want to start off the day.
Yeah, it feels pretty good. I moved my indicator this morning at 100. I can't tell if I'm hitting just slightly high at 40 or so, but maybe a half yard. So, but that's safe here. So it's. I noticed a couple of those, especially that coyote. I rearranged him and it was a little bit shorter than what I had down on my paper, and sure enough, I went over the top of it. So, this is a game of finiteness, and you really got to have your crap together. So it's a good start.
So do you think it's a little bit more humid today? We got some overcast clouds. Do you think that the extra humidity is going to cause any issues today?
Man, it always does when you're going 20 to 100. But we've come up from the bottom of the lift up here, and the humidity level's like 20% higher.
Right.
Crazy.
All right, buddy. Thanks.
Bye.
Hey everybody, Greg Poole here. We are at the 2020 Bowfest OPA at Mount Delac. This weekend's coverage is brought to you by Bowstrings. We're here with OPA defending every-time champion, Paige Pierce. Obviously, Paige, you've had a tremendous amount of success at this event. So this course, however, is a little bit different. This is extremely difficult.
Yes.
There is unconfirmed rumors of a 37-degree downhill shot.
So I've heard.
And so tell us how you feel coming into this particular OPA.
Honestly, we all know this year's so different than any other year. We haven't been shooting a whole lot. We just kind of got back into it. I'm excited just to shoot again, regardless, honestly, of how it goes. But I think this is so different since the score isn't cumulative into the shoot-off. So really, I feel like with this format, it's anybody's game. Anything can happen. Like 5 arrows is nothing,
Absolutely. And what Paige is talking about is that at this particular year's OPA at Bowfest, the top 5 make the shoot-off, but then scores are wiped clean. So
yeah, it wasn't like that in the past, just to clarify.
Right.
It was cumulative the whole way through.
Right. And so how does that change your particular strategy throughout the 40 target shooting on Friday and Saturday?
I was kind of saying, not that you're going to try to lay up, but I don't think I'm going to shoot it like I normally do. Yeah,
right.
I mean, first and fifth, it doesn't even mean anything.
Right, except for coming into the shoot-off.
Yeah,
if you're in the first spot, you get to pick which target you start on, which actually, more importantly, means you know what target you end on.
Yes, so that is good. But, yeah, I don't know. In the years past, my whole thing was I just told myself I want to try to win it in the 40.
Right.
So I can coast in the 5.
Right.
And I've kind of been able to do that most of the years. This year, I don't think it's going to be that way, especially because I haven't been shooting my bow.
Right.
But yeah, it's going to be interesting for sure. So I think I'm going to at least try to learn on the 40 to be more ready for the final 5.
Right.
But we'll see.
All right. So last question, I'll let you get to it. Since you haven't been shooting, and the word shooting shape is a relative term. However, coming back to an event like this with this technically difficult course, form-wise, what are you expecting in that regard? Because shooting a course like this when you're in shape is one thing, but
yeah, honestly, I just got off the course. I shot their hardest one they had up there. It feels good. The difference is I'm used to shooting a lot more arrows. So I feel like even though I'm not in good shooting shape, making one strong shot isn't so bad. I will say when I'm on my game, I aim a little better than I do right now.
Absolutely.
You know, like I can usually get that pin to sit, and right now it kind of floats, which is frustrating me a little bit. But honestly, if you just keep pulling, it's fine. Like I can get through it. So yeah, I think this weekend it's just going to be committing because those dots look small because they are small. So confidence in pulling through it. You can't sis out on these because they're far and they're small.
There you go. All right, everybody. That's Paige Pierce, your every-time OPA Women's Experts Champion. Stay tuned to Bow Junkie Media for ongoing coverage. And thank you, Paige, for this exclusive Bow Junkie Media ScoreCast interview. Hey everybody, Greg Poole here with a Bow Junkie ScoreCast exclusive. Just wanted to let everybody know, in case you were wondering, you've been seeing some of these targets. However, there you have it. The orange is a reference point only, but the orange does not score. You have to hit the burn ring, scoring ring, however you want to call it, on these Reinhardt targets. So the orange is an aiming reference only. Stay tuned to Bow Junkie Media. More ongoing coverage from the 2020 OPA and Bowfest here on Mont du Lac. This weekend's coverage is brought to you by Bowstrings. Have a good day. I know I will. Hey everybody, Greg Poole here. We are at the 2020 Bowfest OPA event taking place on Mont du Lac. This weekend's coverage is brought to you by Bowstrings. We're here with Paige Pierce. To the surprise of exactly nobody, Paige is leading after day one. For those of you that have not been paying attention, Paige has won the OPA every year since its inception, but the OPA courses have historically been long and they've historically been a little bit difficult, but they've not been today difficult. So I do understand, for those of you that tuned into Bow Junkie Media ScoreCast today, you saw that Paige went ahead and shot herself a nickel today. So
set your sight.
Talk to us about your day.
I honestly, so to add to that, yes, today was, I think, the hardest course we've ever shot for OPA. And I shot what should have been shot the highest score I've shot yet in all the years.
Nice.
So I feel so good about my shooting and my setup and everything like that. I was getting a little excited because I finished on the last 5 and I had the short target to end. And I was like, yeah, I'm almost there. I'm going to be this many up. I was like already counting it, set my sight, shot the target. And I was literally like, yeah. And I was like, oh no, that's in its wing. Yeah. So I set my sight off the back and I set it 5 lines off. It should have been 29, 4-5. I set it for 24, 4-5. Like an idiot.
That's not yardage. That's the actual scale.
Yeah,
on the
the
back.
scale on the back.
Okay. How far was the target?
18. Yeah, that one hurt.
You set your sight on an 18-yard target?
Yeah. Ouch.
That is an ouch for sure. Now,
I know.
Now, you have, obviously been in the position to win these events handily going into shoot-offs before. With the change in this venue coming to with the change in OPA coming to Bowfest, now the scores are wiped out.
Yep.
So regardless of whether you come in with a 1-point lead or a 20-point lead coming into the shoot-off, it doesn't matter. So what do you, how do you change your mentality, the championship mentality tomorrow for those 20 targets, as opposed to, trying to build a lead heading into it?
Yeah,
now you're literally just trying to have your mind right heading into it.
So I said to you yesterday, I was like, I'm going to kind of lay up, and I have a hard time doing that. Like when I got out there today, felt a little off, a little nervous and stuff. And the first targets were the toughest ones of the day.
Right.
And so when I made it through those, I was like, okay, I can do this. It's fine. And then I hit 3 12s on the next cycle out of the 5 and was like, okay. And then I hit 3 on the next one and was like, okay.
Right.
So, it kind of just rolled in. But I'm going to probably do the same thing tomorrow. Looking at our point spread, honestly, like I have a little bit of room to play with. So if I shoot a couple 8s, it's not the end of the world. But I'm really trying to learn where I need my sight set, how I'm aiming at the 12s, what shots are going to hit it, and what I can't get away with. Because obviously we've had such a long time off. These are all new setups. Everything's fresh. This is our first go at it. So obviously it was good today, but I'd like to see how it does on day 2.
Right.
So I'm going to probably play it just the same I did today. I'm going to aim at every 12. I'm going to be pretty aggressive just because I want to see what my setup can do so I know what I can get away with out there in that final.
Right.
Obviously, none of these arrows we're shooting right now matter, really. So
well,
the last 5
they kind of
really,
matter,
they do.
But yes.
But,
overall, absolutely.
Yeah.
So we spoke briefly yesterday about being in shape. And you mentioned that your, I believe it was your left forearm is a little bit sore.
Yeah, it feels
because
great.
you hadn't been shooting.
Yep.
And so let's talk about that a little bit. You shot extremely well today. You said that you would have, if not for that nickel, shot the best score that you've shot. So
I didn't even say that. I ended with a 211, and that was a 7-point swing on that target.
Right.
That was rough.
So coming into a course that's this difficult, not necessarily in the greatest shooting shape ever, and yet you still should have posted the best score ever. What do you attribute to that?
Experience, probably. The thing is, too, it's a little different. Had this been a FIDA event, it probably would have eaten me alive. But knowing that this was 1 arrow at a time, now it's basically like 5 at a time, but still, it's not that bad. You have long breaks in between, like it's, while you're pulling and stuff. I don't think about any of that. And, I know some people were asking why I switched releases, right? I said my shoulder hurt. I went years like that and never even gave it a second thought until it was actually affecting my arrows on the target.
Right.
When I draw back, I don't think about anything like that. My elbow is still swollen. It still isn't doing that great, but we just took enough time off. It's just going to take a little bit to build it back up, but that doesn't matter.
That's it. You just got to go out there and do it.
Yeah.
That's it. All right. Well, everybody, that's Paige Pierce. She is going to head into day 2 with a 1-point lead, but as usual, I'm sure Paige is going to come out there and do everything she can tomorrow to not only have fun, but to build on that lead just because that's funner.
We're going to try. Toya's awesome, and I've shot FIDA field with her a bunch and other stuff, so I know how good she is. So it's neat we were in each other's group today. We will be again tomorrow because we just kind of feed off of each other, and it helps.
Awesome. Well, my wife Kathy will be out there following along, so it's going to be awesome. Everybody stay tuned to the Bow Junkie Media ScoreCast and follow along tomorrow with the top experts groups here at the OPA Bowfest on Mont du Lac. Everybody, Greg Poole here at Bow Junkie Media, bowjunkiemedia.com. We're here at the 2020 Bow Fest and OPA here at Mont du Lac. This weekend's coverage is brought to you by Gas Bowstrings. We're here with the man, the myth, the legend. It's Michael Waddell. You are here up in the place fitting to do the thing this weekend.
I'm so excited, man. I was here last year, blown away, and I'm like, man, there's no way I'm not coming back. And so this cool weather, it's been so hot in Georgia, and it's just nice. My dad was like, dude, it's cold out here. We looked, and it was like 60 degrees. I thought my dad was going in for the big jackets, you know. He was looking for the parka.
Nice. Now, let's talk about this real quick. I came and did a walkthrough a couple weeks ago, and they talked about you being here, but they wasn't talking about you shooting. Just talking about you singing.
Man, this shows that in America all things are possible, because obviously I'm a bow hunter through and through, and redneck, hillbilly, whatever people want to label me is, and I'm here to just have a good time. And I got all my kids, well, all my boys anyway. So I got my 3 boys, and Mason, who's 20, he's a heck of a guitar player and a singer, and even my 15-year-old boy's a pretty good picker, and so. It was kind of funny. Last year, we got to talking about hanging out here on the stage and, you know, basically just telling campfire stories, talking about hunting, and obviously everybody's coming out of the off the bow shoot and have competed and or just had fun. And so we ended up sitting around, kind of, I wouldn't call it a hunting seminar, it's campfire stories. And Larry said, get a guitar and can y'all pick and grin a little bit? So anyway, long story short, we had a pretty good crowd. So Larry said, look, why don't y'all come back next year, straight up just do some campfire music. And so we got everything from Willie Nelson to Hank Williams Jr., Leonard Skinner to Waylon Jennings. So we're excited. So, yeah, I'm not a musician, but I do like to play. And so I'm just excited to be here helping the celebration, man. I'm really excited about it.
There you go. Now, second question, of course. Did you bring a bow and you plan on shooting?
I did. Actually, I was just about to go hit that practice range. And, man, I'm telling you, this whole COVID stuff, I've been sitting around the house and I done ate a few extra biscuits. And so I need to walk these courses. And there's some really physically challenging courses just to walk on them.
Right.
And so obviously some of our first hunts are spot and stalk mule deer as well as elk. So it's kind of a cool, realistic way to kind of be huffing and puffing as you get up to the stake. So, yeah, I'm going to go shoot. I got my dad with me and my boys, so we're just going to go sling a few arrows. And
there you go.
Hopefully we bring all the ones that we brought to the range, we bring them back off the mountain. That's the main thing.
Now, when we was over there, you was telling me how you was fitting to put a whooping on old Levi Morgan on the shooting range over there.
Levi,
What, is that a thing or what's that?
I want to tell you one thing, Levi. What has done come to Bow Fest? I'm looking for you. I can't find you nowhere. I brought my guitar and I brought my arrows and I brought my Hoyt. If you want some, don't start none. They won't be none.
And I'm totally talking wrestling stuff because hell no, I don't want none of Levi Morgan. That's the best bow hunting shooter I've ever seen in my life. And I like to hang out and talk to him. But I will every time. Levi's one of those guys when you start shooting, if you start off good and then he gets so much better than you that you immediately drop your bow on purpose and bend your sight. And like, dude, man, I'm sorry, dude. I'm doing pretty good, man. I bent my sight though, man.
I was hanging with you for a minute.
He's the best, man.
All right, well, I appreciate it. All right, everybody, that's Michael Waddell. He's going to be here all weekend at Mont du Lac. Check out more ongoing coverage from the Bow Junkie Media live feed via the ScorCast. Michael Waddell and GP. Hey everybody, Greg Poole here. We're at the 2020 OPA taking place at Bowfest on Mont du Lac Resort. This weekend's coverage is brought to you by Gas Bowstrings. We're here with Randy Patterson, senior expert. Find yourself in second place at 6 up after the first 20 targets. That was a pretty impressive course out there. Great shooting.
Thank you very much. It was a very challenging course.
Hold this bad boy right about chow.
Very, very challenging course.
Absolutely.
As soon as you walk up to the first 5, the angles, it was like time to wake up.
It got your attention right quick.
Very, very good course, yes. Very
Absolutely.
Good course.
Now, so let's talk about kind of not just, obviously great job on the 6 up today. That's a great score.
Thank you.
Let's talk about your preparation leading up to this because, a lot of folks have not been shooting. What have you done to get ready for this?
I don't have a lot of uphills like this back home. I do a lot of my practice from 120, shooting a lot.
Right.
And whatever angles I could get, that's where I'd go practice at. And I was lucky today that we were able, to perform like we were with the cuts and stuff like that. But very, very interesting course. Really liked it.
Yeah. So what method? Because I know that there's probably a lot of people watching going, well, just get a rangefinder and it'll tell you how far to shoot. Well, that works out great, but not at 25 to 35 degrees.
Yeah, when you're cutting certain degrees like that, you'll see some people maybe walking out a little bit. You may do a little cutting here and there. So you got to watch what you got. Certain degrees and stuff like that. You might be shaving a couple clicks here and there, definitely.
Absolutely.
So that is a big key factor.
So what's your preferred method for, basically determining what the cut is going to be for you?
It seems like when you get around 30, we got around 34, 35 degrees and stuff like that, and I felt myself just shaving just at least a half a yard off and staying really hard on the wall with mine.
Half a yard off the normal cut?
Off my bow mode cut.
Okay.
Off the little pole.
Yep. All right.
Not line of sight.
There you go.
Yep.
So basically what he's saying there is the rangefinder was telling him one thing, but as most all of us know, once you get over about 23 degrees, you got to start adding to that. So Randy was saying that whatever his rangefinder was telling him to shoot it for, he found himself adding about a half a yard off of that.
Yeah, just taking, here and there, just taking with the angles and stuff like that. That's what made this course really, really good.
Absolutely. Now what did you shoot for any 14s today?
Yes. One, I hit it.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, but I knew because I was looking at other targets down there, and I'm like, I better go for this because I think I'm going to need it.
Right.
As soon as we got up on the first 5, it's like, woof. You know what I mean? That was very, I was like, this is good ones here.
Yeah.
And you want to look at that coyote, and it was like, you wanted to go for that 14, because looking down the hill, but I chose just, go right over the 12, just over the 12, and make it through this.
Don't start off in a hole.
No, make it through that. And I did leave my phone in my pocket. It vibrated on the furthest one down the hill. Costed me 8. Felt like electricity in my pocket when it went off. But then we rolled on from there on. But very good course. They've done a good job up here.
Talk to us about tomorrow. We're supposed to have a little bit of weather. Not sure if it's going to actually hit us here on Mont du Lac or not.
Right.
But any particular strategy that you put in place for tomorrow with that?
Man, just try to just be very cautious. Watch the wind. Of course, we got, I think, rain coming.
Yes.
So just shoot very, very cautious, but we'll be in the top. So
make that top 5 and then let her buck.
We'll make our moves according to see how Tim and, myself and Keith, how we roll. So
absolutely.
It's be a good time.
All right,
hopefully
Randy.
It'll stay dry enough for us to shoot.
There you go. All right, Randy. I appreciate it. That's Randy Patterson, everybody, senior expert here at the OPA on Mont du Lac. Stay tuned to Bow Junkie Media for more ongoing coverage from the 2020 Organization of Professional Archery.
Yep.
This is a Bow Junkie Media ScoreCast News Update.
This is Sam Gabrielli from Fox 21 with your 3-day weekend forecast at Mont du Lac Resort, exclusively Bowfest and Bow Junkie Media. Today's going to be dodgy when it comes to the thunderstorm potential. We are tracking some thunderstorms across the region. It's going to be late into the afternoon, lingering into the evening, and I tell you, heavy rain is looking likely with these thunderstorms. A bit unfortunate, I know, for everything that we have going on later on today. There's what we're talking about with rain accumulation. You can see over Douglas County some spots possibly seen up to about an inch. Now, this is not going to be exactly what happens, but some communities could easily be picking up about an inch of rain, if not more, by the time Sunday morning rolls around. And it's all going to be developing later on through the afternoon hours, so keep an eye to the sky if you can. This is 9 o'clock this morning. We're going to be seeing those thunderstorms developing right over Duluth, making their way into Superior right around 4 or 5 o'clock, and then they're going to be kind of lingering as we take you into the evening hours, and they're going to be diminishing, which is nice to see by the time tomorrow morning rolls around. So the rest of the weekend is not going to be too big of a washout, which is nice to see. And once again, some of these thunderstorms could be strong or severe. The Storm Prediction Center highlighting our area within that risk for severe weather. Well, thanks for tuning in at Fox 21 with their local forecast. I hope you enjoy BowFest 2020.
Hey everybody, Greg Poole here at the 2020 BowFest and OPA at Mont de Lac Resort. This weekend's coverage is brought to you by Gas Bowstrings. We're here with AAE and Feather Vision General Manager Nick Fisher. It's great to see you out of Arizona, out here in Wisconsin. How's the weekend going?
Well, so far it's getting to a good start. You know, I really like the facility. It's really beautiful here. So weather's nice. It's not too hot and muggy because, you know, us desert rats, we don't like anything to do with humidity. So it's humid, but it's not high temps, so we're surviving.
Absolutely. Now, you have been raised in the world of archery, and so one of the things that I'm, really intrigued by this facility from my visit a couple weeks ago and so far this weekend is the amount of archery potential at Mont de Lac. Now, I understand you have not had a chance to completely go through all the ranges and stuff, but so far from what you've seen, kind of give us your impression of, just the potential of what this venue has to offer.
Well, it's going to give us everything you could possibly want, and particularly when you look at something like the OPA, trying to develop a core style that really lends itself to TV and to professional archery. Man, you've got it all here, and the way they've laid it all out, it's going to be easy for you guys. It's going to be great for spectators, and the terrain, actually, I was very surprised driving in. It's pretty flat in the area, and here we go across the river, and boom, we've got some mountains. Well, hills. I won't call them mountains, but we've got some terrain.
Right.
So overall, you got the ski lifts. They're going to be able to take you to the top of the mountain. They're working the courses from the top down mostly, it looks like. So the whole layout is really, really good, and they're going to be able to do a whole lot more than just an OPA with it. If they start putting in some actual target butts in the future, depending on what direction they want to go, we could have a lot of events here.
No question. Now let's kind of transition over to, what is the overall dominant topic of archery, the world, especially America right now, and that is this interesting 2020 that we've been having, and how that's pertained to your business in particular. For those of you that don't know, AAE has been have been in business for 50 years next year. Nick's grandfather, Big Tom Fisher, started that when he purchased from Max Hamilton. Nick's father, TJ, is the current owner, and Nick is currently in the transition as the third generation of legacy who will be transitioning into that position. So from your perspective as the current GM of the company, kind of give us, kind of your thoughts on how this year's went so far.
Overall, it's kind of been surprising to us. I really thought it would tank really bad. And we certainly saw a big decline in distributor sales. Of course, they're greatly affected by what they do with dealers overall. And we've lost a lot of dealers, and we had a lot of dealers who just had to close temporarily. But archers themselves continued to do archery, and if anything, I think they spiked. Our online sales have been absolutely huge. The other side of our business with some of the other stuff we've done, we've been fortunate in catching some new customers in the custom injection molding side that we really haven't slowed down a whole lot. I was pretty fearful in March and April that we would take a huge hit, and we held on just fine. So, and the last 6 weeks have really picked up in a hurry. So I'm really not fully up to speed on how many dealers are maybe coming back, but we've had some good distributor orders worldwide. So I feel like archery's making a comeback. Archery's never going to go away, and
sure,
certainly in these times when people go into lockdown, I mean, it's one of the things you can do from home. So, and as an accessory company, archers may not have the money to go purchasing new bows, but they certainly can afford to, throw $50 to $100 on upgrading their stuff. Just watching social media, one of the favorite things I've seen is how many people are starting to fletch their own arrows.
Right.
Mainly because their dealers used to do it for them, so they've got to learn. So I think that's been a big increase in sales for us on that side.
Well, considering that AAE manufactures, 60 million plus vanes a year, that's probably not bad. That's not a bad thing.
Yeah, even in these down times, we're still going to be over 50 to 60 million this year. So
absolutely. Now, let's talk about historical support of the archery industry, even starting from your grandfather, who was besties. Like, literally, if there was text messaging and cell phones back then, your grandfather and Jim Easton would have literally been taking selfies together. They were super good friends. And so transitioning to, through your father, TJ, who is still around, of course, to this very day with you as GM, talk a little bit about AAE in particular's dedication to the sport and the industry itself.
Our biggest thing is just our passion for archery. We want to see archery thrive and last forever, and the industry last forever. So we do a lot of things. We try to attend every event we can. We try to support archers who care about the industry, and they want to be here because they love to be archers. So that's our big thing, is just building relationships around continuing this sport and continuing to make archery a part of everybody's lives. That's our joy. That's our love. What we say is archery is who we are. Injection molding is what we do. But the face of what we do, everybody knows us as an archery company purely because of the joy we have for it.
Absolutely. That right there, folks, is why AAE not only has had my support for over 10 years, but a lot of people out there are extremely dedicated to the brand because of that kind of dedication right there. Thanks for your time, Nick. Hopefully you get to get out there and shoot all these courses, maybe fit in a game of golf here and there. Enjoy the concerts. They're going to have all kinds of stuff going on this weekend, so enjoy the week.
Appreciate it, and thank you for having us.
All right, everybody. That's Nick Fisher right there, GM of Feather Vision and AAE. Stay tuned to Bow Junkie Media for more ongoing coverage from the 2020 OPA and Bowfest here at Mont du Lac. Everybody, Greg Poole here with Bow Junkie Media, bowjunkiemedia.com. We are at the 2020 OPA at Bowfest on Mont du Lac Resort. This weekend's coverage brought to you by Gas Bowstrings. We're here with women's expert Caitlin Boardwell. Find yourself in the top 5 today. What did you think of that course?
I loved it. I honestly think it was like my favorite 3D course I've ever shot, especially because of how quick it was, and like the whole stations was awesome.
It was literally like shooting 4 field fans and then just rolling out. I mean, you guys were getting done in like, what, an hour and 40 minutes?
Yeah, I think we were like an hour and a half, hour and 40 minutes, so it was great.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. So let's talk a little bit about, you know, obviously with everything that's been going on in the country right now, preparation for this event. Mm-hmm. Preparation for any event. has been, somewhat of an issue. So what sort of preparation were you able to make coming into the OPA?
So I'm actually supposed to be in Africa right now, hunting a gemsbuck and a bunch of stuff, and then that got canceled.
Yes.
So last minute, I was like, I called Christine. I was like, hey, let's go to OPA. So this was a very last minute type trip. But
okay.
Yeah.
So did you already have a bow set up for this, or are you shooting a 3D rig, or?
So I took my ASA set up, just put some skinny arrows on it, and then just sighted in for the past 2 weeks with that.
There you go. Mm-hmm. All right, so let's talk about some of the technical difficulty of this course. There was some pretty stout downhill shots today. Yeah. What was your familiarity with, determining the proper cut for yardage, and, how did that work out for you today?
So I normally just go by what my rangefinder does, the angles for me. I definitely did notice the downhills. I was going high, so I started just taking some off there. But the uphills are right on, so
nice.
I didn't have to do anything with that.
There you go. So you plan on, as you folks can hear, they're firing up the music over there. So you guys going to stick around and enjoy some of the Bow Fest festivities?
Well, I'm going to go back and take a nap first. And then
that hour and 40 minutes where you outdid it?
It did. And then we'll go from there.
There you go. Yeah. All right, Caitlin, I appreciate your time stopping by. That's Caitlin Boardwell, everybody. Stay tuned tomorrow. She's going to be out there battling it out. Be sure to tune in to the Bow Junkie Media ScoreCast to follow along. And also stay tuned to Bow Junkie Media for more ongoing coverage here from the 2020 OPA. Everybody, Greg Poole here. We are at the 2020 OPA Bowfest at Mont du Lac. This weekend's coverage is brought to you by Bowstrings. We're here with the OPA man himself, Mike Pollard. You have cleaned up from the festivities of the week, meaning he's been out here hiking these mountains, setting these ranges, doing work, but everything looks fantastic, brother.
Thank you. I can't take all the credit. We got 5 young gentlemen that come from Virginia that have helped the last 4 years.
What's their names?
Jake Leonard, Junior Harris, Todd Jarvis, Frank, and Greg Kirtley.
Those are the folks we saw at the Trophy Cafe this morning.
Oh, was it?
Yep, absolutely. Those guys have been helping Mike with this since the beginning.
Yep, since the beginning. I mean, in all reality, I couldn't set it all up without that little group to get them here and do the same thing every year. And it is 5 days of pounding of work. I mean, it's a lot. So I appreciate those guys. They shoot out of Augusta Archers there in Virginia.
There you go. So let's talk about this. This BowFest OPA partnership is more than intriguing. I was out here a couple weeks ago. We did a walk around. Now I've been here today, and I got to tell you that this Mont du Lac has a ton of potential. And so, obviously this year with the Rona and all that kind of stuff, this year's sort of a just make it happen, and we will slide on into 21 with a fresh slate. But talk to us a little bit about how exciting it is to be partnered with a facility, and Larry, of course, who is willing to do exactly what it takes to make it the best event in the country.
I would say that's a loaded question. Larry and Donna Polterbeck, who own the hill, and Rick McCurley, Bridget Duffy, Mark DeLillo, Hunter, everyone that's upstairs that run this hill, they do a fantastic job. And for it to go this far smoothly is great. So I think it's really, the future is endless, and I hope that it just keeps growing and growing, and I can see something else evolving just out of this BowFest. Maybe there's multiple.
Absolutely. Well, hey man, I appreciate your time. I know you're super busy right now. I can't even imagine the amount of stress that you've been under, but I'm excited. This Mont du Lac has a ton of archery potential, so I'm excited for what you guys will be able to do, not only for BowFest but for the OPA. So I really appreciate all your hard work.
No, thank you guys for coming out. I appreciate you guys very much.
All right, that's Mike Pollard with the OPA right there. We are on Mont du Lac right here in Superior, Wisconsin. So stay tuned to Bow Junkie Media for more ongoing coverage from this weekend's BowFest and OPA. And by the way, here at Mont du Lac, there will be concerts this weekend, so stay tuned to Bow Junkie Media for more ongoing coverage. Get it? Yeah. Everybody, this is Greg Poole here, Bow Junkie Media. This is a Bow Junkie Media ScoreCast exclusive. Levi Morgan has some work to do today. He just threw down the 14 on target number 6 here on course B and got it. So Levi Morgan looking to make up some ground and heading to the next target. It's still 14 time.
Got it.
I think so.
All right, this is Greg Poole, Bow Junkie Media. This is a Bow Junkie Media ScoreCast exclusive. All right, Levi, you got a little bit of work to do today. You've been gunning at the 14s on this station. That's 2 of them at least. Give us your thoughts after day 1.
Well, dug myself a hole as usual, and trying to dig out of it. I made really good shots right there, and I think I didn't miss the 14 by more than 1/8 of an inch, and I shot at 4 of them. And I 12'd the other one, so I don't know. I could be like 10 down, or I could be back up. I don't know what.
All right, good luck today, buddy.
Hey everybody, Greg Poole here. We're at the 2020 Mont-de-Lac for the OPA and Bowfest. This weekend's coverage is brought to you by Gas Bowstrings. We are here with Levi Morgan. He's a familiar face of the program, of course. He is mildly familiar with the OPA as well. So here we go, Levi. It's the 2020 OPA here at Bowfest. Now, you were here last year, but what they've done here at Mont-de-Lac with these courses is pretty impressive.
Yeah, there's no question. It looks a lot different.
Sure.
I was super impressed, man, with just the effort that went into the ranges, the creativity, the mix of distances and angles. Really going to challenge everybody here at all levels.
Absolutely.
And how well you know your equipment and how well you can shoot.
Well, right, and so that's something that I actually wanted to talk to you about. I mean, look, your first year out, you won Reading. Obviously, on the 3D circuit, you're the GOAT of that. You've not really gotten into like the Pro Series, some of the hardcore field stuff before. So a course like this is going to, and I know this is going to be for some of y'all out there absolutely crazy at this stage of your career, this is going to present something new regardless of any competitors. Generally speaking, a course does not chew up and spit out archers of the elite level.
Right.
However, having seen this course can do that. So at this stage of your career, with, let's be honest, this style of shooting is not what you specialize in. You're obviously great at it. Talk to us a little bit about the mentality going into a course like this where you just know before you even shoot one arrow, it's a whole different mentality.
Yeah, it's I've always wanted to shoot that type, and I've been forced to learn these type of things when I started doing mountain hunts and adventure hunts where I was shooting in angles like 35 to 40 degrees, right. And your rangefinder's not right.
Right.
You know, everything is wrong. Pressure
none of them,
by
the way.
No, none of them are right. So, yeah, I got cut charts. I got 3 different rangefinders set on different modes. It's really a lot of math.
Yes.
And then on top of that, you have to be able to know your equipment well enough to know what it feels like right downhill and uphill, because it's different.
Yes.
It feels different. Your weights are different.
Draw lengths.
Everything's different. So, yeah, I mean, I feel good about it. I grew up in the mountains. I grew up shooting hilly, up and down, side hill stuff. But on a course like that, I mean, it is, you look at it and it almost takes your breath away.
Right.
You know, on courses like that, your wheels can come flying off very quickly.
Absolutely.
It's going to be a game of management, a game of understanding. The biggest part for me is knowing, okay, they're wiping the slate clean, because I'm so used to winning on the course,
right,
and cruising in the shoot-off, ideally, not these last couple.
Right.
That's my plan, right, is
right.
to win on the range, cruise in the shoot-off. Here is the exact opposite.
Right.
Because no matter what, the top 5 scorers, they wipe them clean, and so you
right.
start over. So if you're out there gunning at 45-yard 14s just because you want to shoot some crazy score, you're just being dumb.
Right.
So it's going to be getting my pride in check, making
right.
good decisions, and having my math right.
So just because you think you can does not mean you probably should.
Exactly.
All right, so last thing, and then I'll let you go. They have spent a tremendous amount of effort here to eliminate one thing from this technically difficult of shooting, and that is footing.
Right.
There are some shots out here, folks, like 37-degree type stuff. And generally speaking, when you're on a course like that, footing is less than optimal.
Right.
However, here at the OPA, everybody's shooting off concrete pads. So talk a little bit about the confidence that it does instill, knowing that the one facet of, you know, like for some of you that have wondered, if you saw Levi's show, Bow Life TV, the one time you slid to a stop on an angle and shot like 80 yards across this thing with one leg down and one leg folded up and one hand behind your back. Well, here, that aspect is taken out of it.
Right, yeah, because, I mean, there's points on certain slopes and stuff where you have to get your lowest center of gravity to get stable, right? Here, that's not an issue. And it was just cool to walk that course, the course we're going to shoot, and just see the effort, you know? Because we shoot a lot of ranges at very big events, and you can tell that it was just like, get these targets out.
Right.
You know, it's like me and Darren and Shane Bragg shot together all day. Even on the practice ranges, we shot the west side. There's like 3 or 4 20-target practice courses. And we all said, that's the funnest day of shooting our bows we've had in years. Yeah. And so
we're trying to make archery great.
Yeah,
again.
and we just laughed all day, man. It was just fun because it wasn't the same old thing.
Yep.
We had to think. You know, we walk up to the first target on the practice range and we were like, what? It's like way down out there. So, and yeah, the footing is phenomenal. The pads, I mean, it's just pristine, you know.
Yep.
I mean, it was really good for archery. I'm bummed about some of the guys that aren't here. That should be.
Right.
Disappointed, kind of hurt. But anyway, you know, there's a lot of great shooters here. It's going to be a battle nonetheless. And I just hope people would come out and give it a chance next year because this place is an event. It's a celebration of archery. And it's the effort that's put in here is second to none anywhere. And I'm excited to be here, honored to be a part of it. And appreciate everybody that showed up to shoot it.
There you go. All right, buddy. I appreciate you spending some time with us. That's Levi Morgan. In case you can hear in the background, there's musical festivities happen up in this joint as well. So if you're in the area, get out here to Mont du Lac and check things out. In the meantime, stay tuned to Bow Junkie Media for more ongoing coverage from the 2020 OPA and Bowfest here at Mont du Lac.
This is a Bow Junkie Media ScoreCast News Update.
This is Sam Gabrielli from Fox 21 with your 3-day weekend forecast at Mont du Lac Resort, exclusively Bowfest and Bow Junkie Media. Today's going to be dodgy when it comes to the thunderstorm potential. We are tracking some thunderstorms across the region. It's going to be late into the afternoon, lingering into the evening, and I tell you, heavy rain is looking likely with these thunderstorms. A bit unfortunate, I know, for everything that we have going on later on today. There's what we're talking about with rain accumulation. You can see over Douglas County some spots possibly seen up to about an inch. Now, this is not going to be exactly what happens, but some communities could easily be picking up about an inch of rain, if not more, by the time Sunday morning rolls around. And it's all going to be developing later on through the afternoon hours, so keep an eye to the sky if you can. This is 9 o'clock this morning. We're going to be seeing those thunderstorms developing right over Duluth, making their way into Superior right around 4 or 5 o'clock, and then they're going to be kind of lingering as we take you into the evening hours, and they're going to be diminishing, which is nice to see by the time tomorrow morning rolls around. So the rest of the weekend is not going to be too big of a washout, which is nice to see. And once again, some of these thunderstorms could be strong or severe. The Storm Prediction Center highlighting our area within that risk for severe weather. Well, thanks for tuning in at Fox 21 with their local forecast. I hope you enjoy Bowfest 2020.
everybody, Greg Poole here. We are at the 2020 OPA and Bowfest here at Mont du Lac. We are here at the Martin booth. Before we get started, I want to let you know this weekend's coverage is brought to you by Gas Bowstrings. Martin's here. Martin's set up. Your backdrop arrived in time.
Yeah.
Everything's getting ready to jump off. So first of all, I think it's great that you guys are coming out and supporting the OPA and Bowfest. Obviously, Martin has been a very resurgent brand. So talk to us a little bit about, kind of Martin's resurgence and the support of venues like this.
Well, this is something we've been wanting to get into for a while, and having kind of come back into the market again, I think it's a big step for us, and I think it's going to be something you'll probably see us more and more in the future. So
absolutely. Now let's discuss the new. I'm not sure what the most accurate way to describe it is, a partnership, an acquisition, or however that works. Let's talk about the new deal between Martin and Obsession Bows. Obviously, Obsession had a pretty good fan base.
Yeah.
So with that acquisition, as I talked about on the podcast, Martin is now going to be having basically control of all of its manufacturing processes and stuff. But talk to us a little bit about kind of those two brands and how they're going to work together.
Well, the one thing is everything's going to be under one roof, which is going to be really nice. We're moving everything from Havelock, North Carolina, down to Georgia, down to the Obsession warehouse. So we will have all of our own machines, have our own color fusion and everything. We won't be outsourcing anything anymore. So everything will be right in-house, and it's going to be hopefully be a lot quicker turnaround on orders and stuff. And Dennis is a great guy with Obsession. He's going to be down there overseeing everything too, and it's still going to be under Martin Outdoors, but it's going to be two separate bow lines. So
absolutely. All right. Well, it's great to have you out here. We hope you have a great weekend.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, everybody. That's Martin Archery right there. They're a supporter of Bow Junkie Media. So head on out there, head over to Martin Archery's website and check them out, and stay tuned to Bow Junkie Media for more ongoing coverage from the 2020 Bowfest OPA here at Mont du Lac. Get it, Donny?
Yeah, but on the left side still.
All right, everybody, this is Greg Poole with the Bow Junkie Media ScoreCast exclusive. Men's expert Donny Thacker is trying to put in some work here with a 14 at Station 2. All right, everybody, Greg Poole here with another Bow Junkie ScoreCast exclusive. Men's expert Donny Thacker shoots back-to-back 14s here at station number 2 on targets 10 and 6. Some of the extreme downhills shots here at the 2020 OPA on Mount Delac. This weekend's coverage brought to you by Gas Bowstrings. Lead groups. All right, folks. Craig Poole here with Bow Junkie Media ScorCast exclusive. Pro staffer for Hoyt Easton AAE men's expert Donny Thacker has hit 3 14s in a row here at station number 2. So the 14s are piling up down here. Give you an idea of what the targets look like. 14s are piling up on day 2 here at the OPA at Mont Delac as men's experts try to work their way up into the top 5 for the shoot down later on this afternoon. Stay tuned to Bow Junkie Media for more ongoing coverage from the 2020 OPA. Hey everybody, Greg Poole here. We are at the 2020 OPA event at Bowfest on Mont Delac. This weekend's coverage is brought to you by Gas Bowstrings. We're here with women's expert Christine Harrelson.
Hey.
Y'all recognize her from the 3D courses, right? Well, guess what? She's in the top 5 here at the women's expert class. So great shooting today. I know that this was a very, very challenging course. So talk to us a little bit about, obviously your decision to come here and support the event is amazing. But talk to us a little bit about getting outside that typical comfort zone and shooting a course like this.
Well, my favorite shoot of the year is Reading.
Nice.
So I wouldn't say it's totally out of my comfort zone. It's still 3D targets. It's still shooting, at a spot. It's
right.
marked, which I think actually makes it better. And then having it known distance is kind of, I don't want to say a gimme because it introduces different challenges,
Absolutely.
right, by knowing the distance. But I feel like it's actually open to more people, maybe,
yes, absolutely.
Being known. So I don't feel like I had to do a whole lot different because unfortunately, I got stuck shooting my same 3D setup with my 23s and not my X Impact.
Okay.
So my smaller diameter shafts, which is probably what everyone is shooting on. Anytime you're shooting some
Basically,
distance,
yes.
shooting in the wind or open, I wasn't able to do that because I threw my back out.
Oh.
And so I already had one setup that was good, which was my larger diameter arrows. So I went to the ground, my back went out, I hit the concrete,
Ouch.
The bow hit the concrete, and that was 10 days before this.
Oh, where did that take place at?
In my home range.
Oh,
I have an
at
indoor
home.
range at my house, so I
Okay.
was just going to shoot an arrow through paper on my second setup, on my my field arrows, right?
Right.
And everything went crashing to the floor, including me. So for 10
Wow.
days, I was trying to get rest and heal to even draw my bow back because
Sure.
it happened when I tried to draw back my bow.
Oh, wow.
So that meant setup number 2 never happened.
Right.
With confidence.
Absolutely.
I had already set it up.
Right.
I was just checking a few things, but then, so.
Wow. So have you been getting treatment for it? Is everything okay with it, or?
I feel really good.
Oh, okay, good.
I feel I'm basically a miracle that I'm even here.
Sure.
I texted the 2 girls I'm traveling with, Megan and Caitlin. I said, all right, on Wednesday, I was going to pull back the bow for the first time since, I collapsed. So I said, let's say a prayer because I don't know what's going to happen. And luckily I was able to shoot. And so
Excellent.
That was it.
All right. Well, great shooting today. Obviously, go enjoy some of the festivities here at Bowfest.
Oh,
We
it's
look
been
forward
great.
to. Oh yeah, this place is phenomenal.
I can't even believe how good the band was last night. She sounded just like Miranda Lambert. I would just totally recommend everybody come and check this out next year.
It was awesome. All right, thanks.
Mhm.
There you go, everybody. That is your women's top 5 competitor, Mrs. Harrelson. She is out here doing the thing, injured back, recovered back and all, shooting her 3D rig. She's going to be shooting them. She's going to be shooting them 23s out to 100 yards. So she just came out here and did the thing.
Yeah.
I appreciate you stopping by, Christine. I know that there's a lot going on. But everybody stay tuned to Bow Junkie Media for more ongoing coverage here from the 2020 OPA. Hey everybody, Greg Poole here at Bow Junkie Media, bowjunkiemedia.com. We are at the 2020 OPA here at Bowfest on Mont de Lac. This weekend's coverage brought to you by Gas Bowstrings. All of the expert classes have finished their rounds today. We hope you all enjoyed the Bow Junkie Media ScoreCast live feed. We're here with the number 3 seed, not necessarily a seed, but he's sitting in 3rd place right now after the first 20 arrows. It's senior expert Keith Trailman. How's it going?
Good day today. We started out, had a good group, really tough, challenging courses. I came in here with a game plan, trying to play the game, minimize mistakes. Had one pretty good mistake today, and I just couldn't see my pin at all, and it washed out on the white target. But other than that, I shot a really good, strong 12 count. Just tried to stay out of trouble.
Absolutely.
Great course.
So let's talk a little bit about this course. Obviously, this was your official debut with your new bow company, PSE, and you probably couldn't have picked a more difficult venue to make your debut at, but come out sitting in 3rd. Talk a little bit about how that PSE performed for you today.
That I didn't have to worry about it. I knew coming here that, once again, just keep my mind where it needs to be, and the equipment was performing flawlessly. And that's exactly what it did. Very easy bow to tune, to set up. Everything did great. It just completely took that, eliminated it out of the equation completely. So
nice.
It was nice.
Nice. All right. So because they go back to 0 heading into the shoot-off tomorrow afternoon, obviously that does change the strategy a little bit. So any mindset that you come into the round tomorrow, because you are sitting in 3rd, Tim Gillingham's leading at 10, you're at 5, so it's not like you're literally 1 arrow away from being in the lead anyway.
Correct.
But do you change anything heading into tomorrow, or is it still just all about making that top 5?
No, I mean tomorrow, if they peer group us, which I'm assuming that's what they're going to do.
Yes, they are.
You gotta watch what everybody else around you is doing, and once again, you got to play the game. You got to be smart about it. And if you have to go for shots that you got to have the confidence that you can hit them, and that's where I'm at with my equipment right now. So I'm just going to sit back and just do exactly what I did today. Play it on the safe side, and if I need to be aggressive, then get aggressive. Just don't shoot myself out of it to where I'm sitting 6th. So
absolutely. Yep. Now, did you shoot for any 14s today?
No, not a single one. And there were some targets there that you could have gone for it, but in the very first target, you looked at it and your eyes immediately go to the 14 because you want it, and you have to talk yourself out of it. I don't want to dig a hole. I want to execute. I want this PSE to perform. I want it to be on top. I want to do whatever I can to put myself in a position to have a good chance of winning this tournament. So I'm playing it safe, I guess is what you would say.
Well, and I mean that's part of what this venue is going to be heading into the shoot-off. So we appreciate your time today. Go out there and enjoy some of the festivities here at Bowfest on Mont de Lac, and we look forward to following you tomorrow.
Okay, thanks for everything you guys do.
All right, man. That's Keith Trail right there, everybody. He's the senior expert. He is currently sitting in 3rd, so be sure to tune in tomorrow to the Bow Junkie Media ScoreCast at the house. Things shake out on targets 20 through 40 heading into the shoot-off. Hey everybody, Greg Poole here with a Bow Junkie ScoreCast exclusive. Just wanted to let everybody know, in case you were wondering, you've been seeing some of these targets. However, there you have it. The orange is a reference point only, but the orange does not score. You have to hit the burn ring, scoring ring, however you want to call it, on these Reinhardt targets. So the orange is an aiming reference only. Stay tuned to Bow Junkie Media. More ongoing coverage from the 2020 OPA and Bowfest here on Mont de Lac. This weekend's coverage is brought to you by Gas Bowstrings. Have a good day. I know I will.
Hey everybody, this is Greg Poole with your Bow Junkie Media ScoreCast exclusive 2020 Vegas champion PSE Pro Staffer Kyle Douglas threw down the 14 and got it on target number 10 on station number 2 as the bonus rings continue dropping.
Hey everybody, Greg Poole here. We are at the 2020 Bowfest OPA event in Mont-de-Lac, Wisconsin. We're here with Jad from PSE. I'm not even going to try to pronounce his last name because I already have a speech impediment and that'll just go downhill fast. All right, we're here at the OPA Bowfest Mont-de-Lac. You guys are all set up here, got bows on display. Dude, PSE's been killing it this year, man.
Yeah, thanks. It's been an awesome year. It's a great time to be in the outdoor industry, and it's a great time to be in Mont-de-Lac. The weather's fantastic. If you're sitting back and watching this at home, you need to get out here. The course is incredible. The weather's perfect right now, and we couldn't ask for more.
No question. Now, for those of you that followed my little visit out here a couple weeks ago, I've been to a lot of ranges in this country, and I got to tell you, as far as archery potential goes, Mont-de-Lac here absolutely has a ton of potential. I mean, the OPA courses, yeah, y'all best be ready. But the Bowfest ones, there's already hundreds of people milling through here that are shooting today. They have well over 1,000 that were already registered to come shoot that. So as far as this facility goes, is this your first time here at this one?
I've actually been coming to Bowfest since it started, so this is my 4th one, I believe. But it just keeps getting better and better. This year there were, I think, 50 or 60 vendors, so that's probably double what they had last year.
Right.
And yeah, the course keeps getting better, and it's more groomed. There's asphalt, to park. Things are. It's definitely a huge improvement. So we're looking forward to keeping this going for many years.
Absolutely. So let's talk about PSE a little bit.
Sure.
Obviously, Pete Shepley and PSE have been around for 50 years plus. And
beginning of time.
Exactly. So this year has been an exceptional year for PSE. Obviously, with the acquisition of John Dudley and the Knock On brand, the Super Focus is absolutely killing it out there on the trail. So as a rep for PSE, someone who's out here pounding the pavement daily, talk to us a little bit about sort of the vibes and the feedback that you've been getting this year compared to the past.
Oh, absolutely. PSE has always made a quality product, and I've been very proud and fortunate to be able to represent PSE, but just that excitement and enthusiasm that John and some of the guys that are shooting PSE now bring to it just is a whole new level. And obviously, our cam system that we've implemented into the bows from the target line all the way through the honey line is just so smooth and feels so good to shoot and so vibration free that it's just really elevated archery over the last year to a whole nother point. And it's been so much fun to just get that into people's hands. And that's another beautiful thing about being here at Mont-de-Lac is you can come check out these bows, you can shoot them, you can feel them, and you can see if what I'm telling you is the truth. And I think that if you actually take one of these products and you shoot it, you're really going to love it and enjoy it. So,
absolutely. All right, everybody, PSE Archery, go check them out for sure. If you're in the area, get out here to Mont-de-Lac and check out this event. It's absolutely fantastic. Stay tuned to Bow Junkie Media for more ongoing coverage from the 2020 Bowfest OPA event at Mont-de-Lac.
should be.
All right, this is Greg Poole with the Bow Junkie Media ScoreCast exclusive. Shane Bragg, men's expert, hits a 14 on target number 10 at Station 2. Shane has been having an incredible year on the 3D Tour, so it's good to see him out here at the OPA expanding his archery venue resume. Good shot, Shane.
Thank you.
Hey everybody, Greg Poole, Bow Junkie Media, bowjunkiemedia.com. We are at the 2020 Bow Fest and the OPA event here at Mont du Lac. This weekend's coverage is brought to you by Bowstrings. We're here with Mont du Lac owner Larry. This event is looking to be coming together extremely well.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy the way it came together with all the obvious issues around the country that we've been dealing with. It's pretty great to see everybody here enjoying the outdoors and getting out and doing what we love to do.
Absolutely.
Shoot archery and watch some music and have fun.
I'm telling you, what you guys have put together here, and this is something that you folks have been listening to me mention, is that the archery potential at Mont du Lac here is phenomenal, and it's unlimited from what I've seen. So explain a little bit, not only just about, and for those that might not know, some of your history in the archery world, but your passion. There is no doubt that not just having Mont du Lac here itself, but you are obviously dedicated into turning this into an archery venue.
Yeah, I've been pretty fortunate. I've been in the archery industry for 20 plus years, started a few companies and been able to sell them. So financially, the industry has been great for me. For me personally, I'm a bow hunter. I'm a shooter. I love to do it. And I really want to try and do two things: give back to the sport with this, but I also want to mainstream this. I want to get Bowfest, I want to get the OPA, I want to get all of this on ESPN, on MSNBC, on the major networks. And if it's done this way, which is really very, very grassroots, I think it'll be amazing, and we'll have tremendous amount of people that will come here and want to watch it and grow the sport.
Absolutely. Now, one thing that I wanted to address was obviously the festival itself. I see the big fancy RV down there, which means that we got some musicians arriving on site with the huge stage. The festival itself is fantastic, but from an archery perspective, talk a little bit about having the foresight to not only give those people that want to do the backpacking, the steep walking, the shooting for fun, keeping score as well, but that aspect for the masses, but also including the hardcore competitive aspect of archery.
Yeah, obviously we have OPA, and we have 4 courses that go from beginner to, I guess, the pro version of even our standard, Bowfest courses are very, very difficult.
Correct.
So people can pick whatever level that they want to try and push themselves towards. And the Bowfest is more of a fun shoot.
Right.
That is where people shoot whatever scores they get, shoot from wherever they want to shoot, and they put in scorecards as they finish different courses, and they go in for drawings. Now, we do give prizes out to the top 3 scores in each division, but they're not real big dollars, and there's nothing there that anybody's going to want to try and push the issues to try and win. It's just more of a fun thing. But we do give away a lot of things, bows, crossbows, etc., those types of things as well during the event. The biggest thing for me, though, also is we do have the OPA.
Yep.
And obviously the OPA is high-end, professional, amazing shooters that can reach out from, you know, we have shots of 100 yards we're shooting at the size of a quarter.
Right.
And they'll hit it. And I think that's what's pretty amazing to me. And the idea here is to incorporate it with the music festival side to bring not only the archers here, but anybody that enjoys the outdoors and get them exposed to this.
Absolutely.
And I think by us getting them exposed to it, a lot of people we can convert and get them to shooting, and maybe shooting archery and actually doing some hunting down the road.
There you go. All right, everybody. That's Larry. He's the owner here at Mont du Lac. If you are in this area whatsoever and you just want to come out and participate in the festivities, if you're an archer, bring your bow. You can shoot the Bow Fest ranges, but there's going to be music concerts, and trust me, there's plenty of food because my miles per gallon sucks, and so I'm going to be staying fueled up this weekend. But stay tuned to Bow Junkie Media for more ongoing coverage from the 2020 Bow Fest OPA here at Mont du Lac. Hey everybody, Greg Poole here at the 2020 Bowfest and OPA at Mont Delac Resort. This weekend's coverage is brought to you by Gas Bowstrings. We're here with AAE and Feather Vision General Manager Nick Fisher. It's great to see you out of Arizona, out here in Wisconsin. How's the weekend going?
Well, so far it's getting to a good start. I really like the facility. It's really beautiful here. So weather's nice. It's not too hot and muggy because, us desert rats, we don't like anything to do with humidity. So it's humid, but it's not high temps, so we're surviving.
Absolutely. Now, you have been raised in the world of archery, and so one of the things that I'm, really intrigued by this facility from my visit a couple weeks ago and so far this weekend is the amount of archery potential at Mont Delac. Now, I understand you have not had a chance to completely, go through all the ranges and stuff, but so far from what you've seen, kind of give us your impression of, just the potential of what this venue has to offer.
Well, it's going to give us everything you could possibly want, and particularly when you look at something like the OPA, trying to develop a core style that really lends itself to TV and to professional archery. Man, you've got it all here, and the way they've laid it all out, it's going to be easy for you guys. It's going to be great for spectators, and the terrain, actually, I was very surprised driving in. It's pretty flat in the area, and here we go across the river, and boom, we've got some mountains. Well, hills. I won't call them mountains. But we've got some terrain.
Right.
So overall, you got the ski lifts. They're going to be able to take you to the top of the mountain. They're working the courses from the top down mostly, it looks like. So the whole layout is really, really good. And they're going to be able to do a whole lot more than just an OPA with it. If they start putting in some actual target butts in the future, depending on what direction they want to go, we could have a lot of events here.
No question. Now, let's kind of transition over to what is the overall dominant topic of archery, the world, especially America right now, and that is this interesting 2020 that we've been having and how that's pertained to your business in particular. For those of you that don't know, AAE has been have been in business for 50 years next year. Nick's grandfather, Big Tom Fisher, started that when he purchased from Max Hamilton. Nick's father, TJ, is the current owner, and Nick is currently in the transition as the third generation of legacy who will be transitioning into that position. So from your perspective as the current GM of the company, kind of give us, kind of your thoughts on how this year's went so far.
Overall, it's kind of been surprising to us. I really thought it would tank really bad, and we certainly saw a big decline in distributor sales. Of course, they're greatly affected by what they do with dealers overall, and we've lost a lot of dealers, and we had a lot of dealers who just had to close temporarily. But archers themselves continued to do archery, and if anything, I think they spiked. Our online sales have been absolutely huge. The other side of our business with some of the other stuff we've done, we've been fortunate in catching some new customers in the custom injection molding side that we really haven't slowed down a whole lot. I was pretty fearful in March and April that we would take a huge hit, and we held on just fine. So, and the last 6 weeks have really picked up in a hurry. So I'm really not fully up to speed on how many dealers are maybe coming back, but we've had some good distributor orders worldwide. So I feel like archery's making a comeback. Archery's never going to go away, and
Sure.
Certainly in these times when people go into lockdown, I mean, it's one of the things you can do from home. So, and as an accessory company, archers may not have the money to go purchasing new bows, but they certainly can afford to, throw $50 to $100 on upgrading their stuff. Just watching social media, one of the favorite things I've seen is how many people are starting to fletch their own arrows.
Right.
Mainly because their dealers used to do it for them, so they've got to learn. So I think that's been a big increase in sales for us on that side.
Well, considering that AAE manufactures, 60 million plus vanes a year, that's probably not bad. That's not a bad thing.
Yeah, even in these down times, we're still going to be over 50 to 60 million this year. So
Absolutely. Now, let's talk about historical support of the archery industry, even starting from your grandfather, who was besties. Like, literally, if there was text messaging and cell phones back then, your grandfather and Jim Easton would have literally been taking selfies together. They were super good friends. And so transitioning to, through your father, TJ, who is still around, of course, to this very day with you as GM, talk a little bit about AAE in particular's dedication to the sport and the industry itself.
Our biggest thing is just our passion for archery. We want to see archery thrive and last forever, and the industry last forever. So we do a lot of things. We try to attend every event we can. We try to support archers who care about the industry, and they want to be here because they love to be archers. So that's our big thing, is just building relationships around continuing this sport and continuing to make archery a part of everybody's lives. That's our joy. That's our love. What we say is archery is who we are. Injection molding is what we do. But the face of what we do, everybody knows us as an archery company purely because of the joy we have for it.
Absolutely. That right there, folks, is why AAE not only has had my support for over 10 years, but a lot of people out there are extremely dedicated to the brand because of that kind of dedication right there. Thanks for your time, Nick. Hopefully you get to get out there and shoot all these courses, maybe fit in a game of golf here and there. Enjoy the concerts. They're going to have all kinds of stuff going on this weekend, so enjoy the week.
Appreciate it, and thank you for having us.
All right, everybody. That's Nick Fisher right there, GM of Feather Vision and AAE. Stay tuned to Bow Junkie Media for more ongoing coverage from the 2020 OPA and Bowfest here at Mont du Lac.
A little late because, I mean, I just got here, drove all night from West Virginia, slept in my car because we got here so late, didn't want to get a room for a few hours, and practiced all day yesterday. So I went to bed early, didn't realize it since I registered when I got here.
Right.
I asked Mike, hey, what's my shoot time tomorrow, just since I haven't seen an update. He goes noon. I said, perfect. Well, I show up quarter till noon. My group's already out shooting. I'm like, crap.
Uh-oh.
So I just jump on. It was like a 63-yard mountain goat at 22 degrees, and I'm just like, here we go, and just rushed real quick, and I ended up starting with an 8 and just started laughing, shaking my head, and hit the next few. Then, you know, the wind made me bobble a little bit on another long bear downhill, and I shot a 5. So, I mean,
right.
it was kind of making my butt pucker starting off.
No doubt. Now, you've historically had some pretty good results here at the OPA. Now, do you historically think that that's because, you know, living there in West Virginia, that, you know, obviously by the shop where the OPA used to be held, you have the availability to shoot some terrain. I'm not sure if you're shooting 35-yard downhill stuff like this, but, you know.
Not intentionally, at least. You know? I mean, I have the option to actually practice it if I need to. You know,
right.
It's steep everywhere around home. I mean, you guys have all been there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So, I mean, it does make a big difference because, I mean, I grew up shooting on, like, the ski slope here and everything, you know, local ranges. So, I mean, I learned how to shoot angles at a young age. So it's made a big difference now, then especially actually being able to see what we're aiming at. You know,
right.
I've really enjoyed and, you know, like drove myself to be a better dot shooter in the last few years, especially since the OPA started, and it's made a big difference for me.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and that's proved out in your results at the OPA. So that part's fantastic. Now, talk to us a little bit about, you know, a lot of folks come days early and prepare and all that. Like you said, you drove here and then slept in your car. Is that I did that because I'm a young guy thing and I can get away with it, or was that just out of necessity?
I did that out of necessity. My parents' store, our archery shop back home, we've been so busy, and I've been in the store nonstop helping. It's just when I could get away. We left Wednesday morning, and my buddy that came with me is actually a travel nurse, so he worked his last day of his assignment, night shift, and he got off Wednesday morning. As soon as he got off, we loaded up and we started driving. So it was the only choice we had.
There you go.
Not wanting to fly, so it was just a way we got around it.
Awesome. Well, it's good to see you out here. Definitely keep up the good work again tomorrow.
Thank you.
All right, everybody. That's Garrett Airsman right there. He's been here and done that at the OPA, so I don't necessarily see him taking his foot off the gas tomorrow. So stay tuned to Bow Junkie Media for more ongoing coverage from the 2020 OPA here at Mont-de-Lac. Hey everybody, Greg Poole here at Bow Junkie Media, bowjunkiemedia.com. We're at the 2020 OPA event here at Bowfest on Mont-de-Lac. This weekend's coverage is brought to you by Gas Bowstrings. We're here with good friend Jesse Broadwater, who, to nobody's surprise, is sitting in the top 5 after day 1 of the OPA. Got a little clip from you out there on the course during the Bow Junkie Media ScorCast, but this was your kind of course today.
Yeah, it was awesome. I really enjoyed it, actually. I mean, it moved along quickly. The way they had the sets, 5 at a time, and the angles was pretty darn good. It was a challenge, and some wind in there. So I had a good day.
Absolutely. Now, you are sitting in the top 5, but like we were talking about before we went on air, and this is something that I wanted to talk to you about, was the aggressiveness of shooting. Jesse, of course, holds the record at Reading at 1 down. You've shot 560 field rounds, 560 hunter rounds. So you're familiar with the premise of maintaining.
Right.
But in all of those, I don't want to necessarily call it a par event, even though you kind of changed the games to be a par event. But in this particular event here, this is different now, because not only do you have to shoot a certain score and you want to shoot as good as possible, but now you have to mitigate making sure you're in the top 5 to get into the shoot-off. So orange dots are 12, 14s are pink, but this has introduced a whole nother realm into that. So kind of talk to us, and obviously you've had great luck at the, not luck as though luck in winning, but you've done well at the OPAs before. So talk to us a little bit about this venue and, kind of how you're, shooting aggressively wise. Because I was there when you shot the 1 down in Reading, and that's not a shoot aggressive thing. That is a mental consistency and shoot the same thing.
Right. Yeah. I think, with a shoot like this, to where there is a chance to gain points, with a 12 and a 14, you definitely have to have more of a game plan. Like if you're just shooting a field round where you're just, trying to stay in the dot all day, it is more like you said, just, it's more mental and just, try to minimize your mistakes and, just be consistent throughout the whole day. But here, you have to, each target decide what you're going to do and how comfortable you are and what you want to do. You know, obviously you want to, at the end of the day, have as many points as you can.
Right.
But you have to kind of judge it off of how you're feeling, how you're shooting, the conditions, obviously, the wind and stuff, you know, to what you're going to do on each target. So each set you walked up to, you know, they have 5 targets there. And so I just kind of like scanned them and like kind of got a game plan in my head of, you know, how am I feeling and how's the wind and everything and what I'm going to do on each target. And then, you know, and some pretty good cuts and stuff here too.
Absolutely.
So depending on how accurate you are with your cuts, you know, if you're shooting a 35-degree down, you know, and aiming at a 1.5 inch 12 ring, like your cut's got to be dead on.
Absolutely.
So it's just, and it just adds a whole new. It's more fun that way because, like I say, it's not the same thing throughout the whole day. Like every target's different, and you need to have a strategy for each target. And so that's what I tried to do today. My game plan coming into it, just because I heard that it was pretty challenging with the angles and stuff, and I knew it was windy. So I'm like, I bet you if I can just, you know, stay out of the 8, stay in the 10, and probably more than likely going to hit a couple 12s here and there, and there's probably going to be some 14s that, you know, I'm going to go for, and that's almost exactly what I did. So I felt like, you know, that was kind of my game plan. That's what I did. So
there you go.
Yep.
Well, we definitely look forward to seeing how things go tomorrow. Before I let you go, I have your Jesse Broadwater, Ron Burgundy moment of the day. I was just wondering, how long into today did you regret the decision to wear blue jeans, considering I'm over here molting in this temperature and this humidity, and you show up in full-length jeans?
Well, it's like, you know, it's almost August in Central Florida right now, so I'm like, you know, I got here last night and it was it was like still 70 degrees and I was freezing, so I'm like, I'm wearing jeans today. But yeah, I shouldn't have done that. I'm a little bit warm right now.
I think on the range I offered, I could take out a pocket knife and we could have made you some nice jorts.
Yeah, there you go. Hopefully the rain holds off tomorrow. I mean, that's another thing because,
yes,
you know, if they was to, you know, have to cancel this thing tomorrow, that's another thing you got to think about. I mean, there could be a possibility where they would have to cancel it or whatever for lightning. Like you can't always plan on that second day being there, so you have to strategize. Like, you know, I need to get as many as I can.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
awesome.
We'll see what happens.
All right, buddy. Well, I appreciate you stopping by. Good shooting today, and just go out there tomorrow and do your thing.
All right, thanks.
All right, everybody. That's Jesse the Freak Show Broadwater right there. He's been on scene for a while. He's had some pretty good results out there, and he is handily one of the nicest dudes you'll ever meet in the sport of archery. So he is a wealth of knowledge, and if you ever see him at an event, be sure to swing by, say hi. He's like the yes man. He's like the yes man in that movie where basically Jesse can't say no. So if you just like walk up to him and be like, hey, give me your bow, he can't say no. It's just what he does. Anyway, I'm just kidding, of course, but Jesse's a great guy. But we appreciate you tuning in, everybody. Stay tuned to Bow Junkie Media for more ongoing coverage here from the 2020 OPA on Mont Delac. Hey everybody, Greg Poole here with Bow Junkie Media. We are at the 2020 Bowfest OPA event in Mont Delac. This weekend's coverage is brought to you by Gas Bowstrings. That's how we do it. This is Eric Griggs, everybody. He is a familiar face to the program, familiar face to the industry. Gas Bowstrings, of course, has had a meteoric rise to the top of the string-making world. And so we just wanted to swing by, catch up with Eric Griggs, and see how everything's going. It's great to see you out here at Mont Delac this weekend.
Yeah, awesome. Great to be here. Super great venue they got here, and I know it's kind of been a weird year, but hopefully this is this will be a good event. So
no question. I was just telling some other folks that you've been around the archery industry a long time as well, and the sport in particular, and there's really not many other venues I've ever been to that have more archery potential as this place.
Yeah, no doubt. I can't get a chance to get out and see some of the courses and stuff like that, but just what I saw, leading up to this, and some of the courses they've laid out and all that stuff. Some of your coverage that you had on that looks like it'd be a really, really fun outing. So, and that's not sometimes a word that you hear people describe. When they talk about this, they say, well, this a lot of competition, this and that. But I mean, I think this, combining the two events between Bowfest and OPA, we're going to have some of the world's best archers here, this weekend, and it's also going to have a big fun factor to it as well.
No
it's
question.
going to be a really fun event. So.
Absolutely, and that's one of the things that I really appreciate about this event is, guys like you and me, we really appreciate and value the competitive aspect of it, but there are so many more recreational archers than there are competitive tournament archers. I don't think a lot of people understand that. So this venue allows people to come do the hiking, the backpacking, the shooting, keeping score, but necessarily shooting for fun on extreme courses, and it does offer that competitive range in the OPA as well. So I think that it's a great combination there as well. So let me ask you this. Your dedication to supporting the industry, not only with Gas Bowstrings, but your previous jobs as well, is well documented. And so talk a little bit about, in this odd year, you have continued your support. Gas Bowstrings has continued its support of pretty much everything. Here we are at Mont Delac. You guys are here. This wasn't an hour down the road from your house, so you have invested to bring the booth and to bring your people here. So talk a little bit about, your corporate decision to continue Gas's support of the industry despite this year's circumstances.
Sure. No, and I think it's a great topic. I'm obviously, passionate about the sport, and I hate to see some of the things that have happened this year, with us having to change events, cancel events, everything else, that becomes, that's a bummer for everybody,
right.
Whether you're competing, whether you're a vendor, whether you're, just a fan of archery in general. Okay. It's not good for anybody. So, I think that what happens is that when everybody puts the brakes on, it just has this big snowball effect, and then it creates problems. At first, the consumer puts the brakes on, and then the manufacturer puts the brakes on, and then there are issues with vendors and advertising and all the other things. It's like the flow of everything just stops,
right?
And that's unfortunate. So I think that if everybody can kind of persevere, just stay strong, everything's going well, and just trying to keep pushing. I think that we can kind of get through this, and hopefully, I know that sounds a little bit cliche, a lot of people say that, but I mean, I think that is, it's certainly something that we can all kind of strive to do, to kind of keep, pushing for normality.
Absolutely, and I can attest, Bow Junkie can attest, that Gas's support has been unwavering, not only of us, but of the entire industry. So speaking of support, speaking of persevering, you guys have relocated to a bigger facility, and with any relocation comes some roadblocks, some hurdles, some things to get over. Talk to us a little bit about, your relocation into the larger facility and kind of how you guys are readapting to some of that growth.
Sure. So the relocation is something that we needed really a long time ago, and it was something that just for whatever reason things had kind of got put off. Things were on delay. Construction never happens the way that you plan for it to, and then all of a sudden, wham! COVID hits. So that puts another major wrinkle into this. People are not, they're not getting things finished. There's a lot of stuff not happening. So it just puts everything at a real snail's pace. Meanwhile, during all that, we've got a move plan. We're trying to strategically plan a move, so that we don't have any interruption in production. And the interruption from production happened.
Right.
We had state, executive orders that non-essential businesses, and we're not going to argue whether we're essential or not, but by definition we weren't. So we had to basically shut down the minimum operations. Everybody stopped and orders quit for just a little bit, but then it didn't stop.
Right.
And then everybody was still like, hey, listen, all right, I'm gonna keep shooting my bow on each strings, and
right.
And archery shops started opening back up, and they needed strings. So meanwhile, we're shut down and doing like this snail's pace production, just a few strings every day. And we're getting hammered with orders, And we already came off from, just a bunch of growth where we were already, just seeing escalation of our orders that we were scaling along with it to keep up. But then that happened. So then combine this move on top of it, we pushed it off, and we had this deadline to the point where we had to move. Like, it wasn't a matter of like, well, we're just going to put, we're going to put this on hold. We have to move. You have to be out of said facility into the new facility. So we do that. All these things happen, and it makes a crazy mess. If there was ever a year or a time or something where I just look at this perfect storm of, we're sitting around like, what's going to happen next? Like, what else is going to happen? Because the orders just keep coming, and we're scrambling to do everything we can. Now, today, as we stand, I think we're 42 to 43 people, I think, is where we're at right now. We're actually operating on a second shift. We're producing a lot of bowstrings, a lot of quality bowstrings. And that's the key. The whole thing with scalability and being able to keep up with demand is not, you can't just take somebody off the street and say, hey, come build strings. It's a pretty rigorous process. Before somebody's really able to be productive, it's almost a 6-week process of coming in, training every day. So it's definitely a lot to work with. So one of the things we've been getting attacked lately because our lead times are so far back, and people say, well, gosh, I can buy from this guy or buy from that guy, and they're shipping in 2 or 3 days. What's wrong with you guys? I can assure you it's not because we don't know how to build strings or don't know how to build a mass quantity of strings. We're building a lot of bowstrings, but when you get orders in, if your orders come in and you're able to build, say, 150 to 160 sets in a day, which is a lot of strings, and you get 200 orders in a day, well, you fall behind. You keep doing that for a couple days, and there's really no catch up. So our answer to that is, continuing to add the fact that we are in the bigger building and that adding a second shift and doing all that. But that stuff takes time.
Absolutely.
And we're not willing to sacrifice our quality and what we've built our business on, to try to put a couple strings out the door quick. So, it's going to take us a little bit to get there, but we're, if I wanted anybody to know anything, it's the fact that we're being very, very proactive. We're not just sitting back and it's like, okay, sorry,
we'll catch up eventually.
Yeah, we'll catch up. No, it's not like that. Every day we're grinding it out. Working 6 days a week. Everybody's working a ton of overtime, and we're doing a lot of stuff to get there. So
awesome. Well, I appreciate it, man. Keep up the good work, and enjoy your weekend this weekend at Mont Delac.
Thank you. You as well.
All right, everybody. That's Eric Griggs right there from Gas Bowstrings. This weekend's coverage, once again, is brought to you by Eric and Gas Bowstrings. Stay tuned to Bow Junkie Media for more ongoing coverage from the 2020 OPA Bowfest here at Mont Delac.
Kathy Poole here with Paige Pierce. She is the top scorer today for the women experts. So we were just wondering how you felt about your shooting today.
Today was good. I think the courses were a little bit easier today, but that also makes it to where you don't want to make any stupid errors. I ended with a 211 today, which is the same score as yesterday. Finished with a 5 on Bigfoot, so I was doing real good before that. So yeah, overall it was great. The courses were tough, which I think makes, for a good tournament, but 5 more to go.
Good. How are you feeling about going into the shoot-off?
I mean, I feel good. Here's the thing, in a shoot-off like that, in 5 arrows, anything can happen, and we all know that. No matter what happens out there, I'm still really happy with how everything went over the weekend, so I'm going to do my best to finish it up how I want and hope it's enough.
Great. Well, good shooting today, and good luck.
Thank you.
Hey everybody, Greg Poole here at Bow Junkie Media. This is a Bow Junkie Media ScoreCast update from the range. The top men's group is scoring from the 3rd pad, so they only have 5 targets left. Coming into these targets after 10, your leader Braden Gillingham shot extremely well on this. Chris B, who was in the mix, unfortunately did not set his sight on one of the targets here and shot a 0. So look for some shakeups on the leaderboard as we head down the hill to the final 5 targets here at the 2020 OPA at Mont-de-Lac. This weekend's coverage is brought to you by Gas Bowstrings. Here we come. Hey everybody, Greg Poole here with Bow Junkie Media. We are on the final target for the men's expert up here at Mont de Lac at the OPA and Bowfest. There you can see everything behind us. So when it comes to ending the tournament with some amazing shooting, and yes, I'm actually at the target, 100 plus yards, we can always count on good old Jesse Broadwater to make it interesting. And just for fun, yeah, that's Jesse's arrow right in the middle at 100 plus yards uphill, because why not? He needs a dentist. Anyway, all right folks, we're almost ready to wrap this thing up. This has been yet another Bow Junkie Media ScoreCast. We hope you all enjoyed it. Obviously this style of coverage is, yes, I'm out of breath, by the way. I've been walking up and down this mountain for 2 days and my miles per gallon sucks. But hope everybody enjoyed it. We're gonna tally these scores, get them up on there, but let us know what you thought about the Bow Junkie Media ScoreCast. That in our opinion, of course, that's going to be the future of covering events in the field, and that's just what it is. So hope everybody enjoyed it. Stay tuned. Bow Junkie Media, of course, will be broadcasting the shoot off here in a few hours, live on our Facebook, live on our YouTube. So stay tuned, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us. Freaking Broadwater, middle water. Hey everybody, Greg Poole here. We are at the 2020 OPA Bowfest at Mont de Lac. This weekend's coverage is brought to you by Bowstrings. We're here with the OPA man himself, Mike Pollard. You have cleaned up from the festivities of the week, meaning he's been out here hiking these mountains, setting these ranges, doing work, but everything looks fantastic, brother.
Thank you. I can't take all the credit. We got 5 young gentlemen that come from Virginia that have helped the last 4 years.
What's their names?
Jake Leonard, Junior Harris, Todd Jarvis, Frank, and Greg Kirtley.
Those are the folks we saw at the Trophy Cafe this morning.
Oh, was it?
Yep, absolutely. Those guys have been helping Mike with this since the beginning.
Yep, since the beginning. I mean, in all reality, I couldn't set it all up without that little group to get them here and do the same thing every year. And it is 5 days of pounding of work. I mean, it's a lot. So I appreciate those guys. They shoot out of Augusta Archers there in Virginia.
There you go. So let's talk about this. This Bowfest OPA partnership is more than intriguing. I was out here a couple weeks ago. We did a walk around. Now I've been here today. And I got to tell you that this Mont de Lac has a ton of potential. And so, obviously this year with the Rona and all that kind of stuff, this year's sort of a just make it happen, and we will slide on into 21 with a fresh slate. But talk to us a little bit about how exciting it is to be partnered with a facility, and Larry, of course, who is willing to do exactly what it takes to make it the best event in the country.
I would say that's a loaded question. Larry and Donna Polterback, who own the hill, and Rick McCurley, Bridget Duffy, Mark DeLillo, Hunter, everyone that's upstairs that run this hill, they do a fantastic job. And for it to go this far smoothly is great. So I think it's really, the future is endless, and I hope that it just keeps growing and growing, and I can see something else evolving just out of this Bowfest. Maybe there's multiple.
Absolutely. Well, hey man, I appreciate your time. I know you're super busy right now. I can't even imagine the amount of stress that you've been under, but I'm excited. This Mont du Lac has a ton of archery potential, so I'm excited for what you guys will be able to do, not only for Bowfest but for the OPA. So I really appreciate all your hard work.
No, thank you guys for coming out. I appreciate you guys very much.
All right, that's Mike Pollard with the OPA right there. We are on Mont du Lac right here in Superior, Wisconsin. So stay tuned to Bow Junkie Media for more ongoing coverage from this weekend's Bowfest and OPA. And by the way, here at Mont du Lac, there will be concerts this weekend. So stay tuned to Bow Junkie Media for more ongoing coverage.
This is a Bow Junkie Media ScoreCast News Update.
This is Sam Gabrielli from Fox 21 with your 3-day weekend forecast at Mont du Lac Resort, exclusively Bowfest and Bow Junkie Media. Today's going to be dodgy when it comes to the thunderstorm potential. We are tracking some thunderstorms across the region. It's going to be late into the afternoon, lingering into the evening, and I tell you, heavy rain is looking likely with these thunderstorms. A bit unfortunate, I know, for everything that we have going on later on today. There's what we're talking about with rain accumulation. You can see over Douglas County some spots possibly seen up to about an inch. Now, this is not going to be exactly what happens, but some communities could easily be picking up about an inch of rain, if not more, by the time Sunday morning rolls around. And it's all going to be developing later on through the afternoon hours, so keep an eye to the sky if you can. This is 9 o'clock this morning. We're going to be seeing those thunderstorms developing right over Duluth, making their way into Superior right around 4 or 5 o'clock, and then they're going to be kind of lingering as we take you into the evening hours, and they're going to be diminishing, which is nice to see by the time tomorrow morning rolls around. So the rest of the weekend is not going to be too big of a washout, which is nice to see. And once again, some of these thunderstorms could be strong or severe. The Storm Prediction Center highlighting our area within that risk for severe weather. Well, thanks for tuning in at Fox 21 with their local forecast. I hope you enjoy Bowfest 2020.
Thank you for watching today's ScoreCast. We'd like to thank all of our advertisers for making this possible. Until next time, folks, love, peace, and chicken grease.